Warning, the following show contains conservative posturing, radical Christian ideas, and may offend pagans, Wiccans, Islamic fundamentalists, and other unenlightened individuals. Callers and guests may be subjected to brash and offensive comments by the hosts and any other type of bullying tactics available. But that's okay. We know why you're here.
This concludes this test of the emergency broadcast system.
Tonight is Monday, February 23rd, 2009.
Welcome one, welcome all. You're listening to World of the Unexplained. Tonight we're an hour late and $1 short. But that's all right. I'm sitting here with a co-host, Mr. D. Clements.
How's everybody doing tonight?
We're doing okay, I guess.
now that we're up and running?
Oh, man. I tell you what, it's just been a nightmare trying to get this thing pulled off tonight. I'm going to have to beat people. Anyway, tonight our guest is Jason Offutt. If you listen to the show at all, you'll remember him. Feel free to call in, criticize us or him, and we'll make fun of y'all and hang up on you. But anyway, Jason's our guest for tonight, and we'll just go ahead and bring him on.
Hopefully people remember me. There's some people I actually have met who don't remember me, so let's give this a shot.
Well, we remember you, man.
Oh yeah, thank you.
So what's new with the Offutt writing?
Well, as always, weekly I write a paranormal column called From the Shadows, which is posted online at From the Shadows at blogspot.com. There are hyphens in between From the Shadows. I'm going to have to work on that, but I've been too lazy so far.
Well, yeah, what's up with that, man?
Oh, I just said I'm lazy.
You know, why can't it just be?
I'm like, wait a second, this is really clunky. Maybe I should do something with it. Yeah, okay, I'll have a beer instead.
Oh, well, why can't it just be like FromTheShadows.com?
Because I think somebody already had that.
Oh man, don't you hate that? Anyway, so Jay, tell us about what you're working on now. I know you've got a new one that you put together for Schiffer. Tell me about that.
All right, it is basically I proposed a book on just everything paranormal that I've been able to find, but they wanted it just targeted at Missouri. So that's what I'm doing right now. It's actually about between half and 2/3 finished. Got quite a few fun stories. They range anywhere from a Ouija board encounters gone wrong to Bigfoot to UFO encounters. Basically, all the different type of paranormal things you could think of, with the exception of the chupacabra and lake monsters.
Oh well, you know. Tell me about the Ouija board gone wrong.
Well, these things, when I was a kid, by kid I should say I was in high school, I used a Ouija board a number of times because chicks really liked it. And
what kind of chicks were you hanging out with, man?
Well,
not the cheerleaders. Anyway, no, go ahead.
Oh, but it was, yeah.
You had those goth chicks, didn't you?
Well, yeah, but of course, back when I was in high school, goth chicks were the original goth chicks.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So what circa what are we talking about? 19 what?
1879, something like that, yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So tell me about it. So the chicks dug the Ouija board. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, the chicks loved the Ouija board. And there were a system of caves north of the town where I grew up. There was a mine up there, and it was shut down. But taking chicks, especially during a thunderstorm, into a mine shaft with a Ouija board and some candles, man, that was magic. Literally.
I can only imagine.
Yeah. So anyway, Ouija boards are, I shouldn't make light of them because everybody I've talked to about them, almost everybody, has had a bad experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are basically, from what I've garnered, other than the positive experiences that I had, Ouija boards are gateways. It's an invitation. It's saying, hey, anything out there in the spirit world, look at me, here I am, come and talk to me. But most of the spirit world that does come and talk to you, they're not the good guys.
No.
Yeah. I talked to a woman named Inez Pace from, I think she was from the St. Louis area, but she went to college at Southeastern Missouri State University back in the early 80s, I believe, which is in Cape Girardeau, boyhood home of Rush Limbaugh.
That's right.
Anyway, she and her friends were just playing around with this thing, as normally is, because Milton Bradley wouldn't sell anything bad.
No.
I'm talking about the company, not the baseball player. Anyway.
I thought that was a Parker Brothers game. Or maybe both companies, I guess.
No, it was Milton Bradley.
Was it Milton Bradley? Oh.
Yeah, it's Milton Bradley. Yeah. Anyway, they were playing with it, and one of the girls, there were like 4 or 5 girls in there, one of the girls started getting input from something they couldn't see, and they started talking to it, and it happened to, it was a woman, it claimed to be a woman, who had died in the 1800s from a horse accident, and she was about their age, about college age, and she was hanging around because she was just still upset by the fact that she got killed when she was so young. And one of the girls said, well, could you describe yourself? What does she look like? What did you look like? And the spirit said through this one girl, well, I looked kind of like you. She named one of the girls in the circle.
Oh.
And the girls they turned and looked at the girl in the circle that the spirit had named, and the spirit said through this one person, but my eyes were green and my hair was red, and all the girls in the circle saw that one girl's eyes change color and her hair change color, and her cheekbones shift a little higher.
Ooh.
So that kind of made them want to stop playing.
Yeah.
So they tried to stop, but the person who had her hands on the planchette, it kept moving. And one of the things it said is, look to the window. And they looked at the window, and they saw a black, shadowy shape, man-shaped, standing at their window.
Ooh.
They were on the 3rd floor of the dorm.
That ain't good.
So, yeah, that couldn't have happened. So they got the hell out of there.
Sure.
That's what Jay Scott would have done.
About 3 hours later, they decided to go back, and the window was open. All the sheets were ripped off the bed. The alarm clock was beeping like crazy. It was a Catholic school that they were going to, so they got a priest to come in and sort of say some things in the room, and then they all moved out.
Sure it wasn't the priest on a ladder on the 3rd floor just looking in the window?
I'll show you girls not to play with Ouija boards. Look through the window. Horrible. That's a horrible story. Well, I mean,
it's a great story, but it's a great story because it wasn't me that it happened to.
So did any of them have any problems since then?
No, they had somebody. The person I had talked to a year or so later, somebody said, "Hey, here's a Ouija board. Let's go, play with it." So they immediately went and burned it.
Oh, there we go. That's a good idea.
Yeah,
that's a good idea. Yeah, evil stuff in a little, just a little piece of plastic and some cardboard glued together and some ink. Who would know, right?
Well, the original ones were just made actually out of wooden boards.
Yeah,
like little
carving,
like cut pieces of like
wood.
Yeah.
Right, and it's not necessarily the board. It's not Milton Bradley really doing all this. It's the people involved. You could make a Ouija board out of a piece of cardboard and a piece of paper.
Sure.
And it's the same thing. It's the same concept with seances, and heck, throwing chicken bones to see how they turn out. It's the same thing. All of this is opening a gateway.
Yeah, I agree. To the demons, the evil.
Anyway. Let's say the last time I threw chicken bones was at the race.
Yeah. Well, you weren't trying to do anything other than get rid of your chicken bones, though. So the Ouija board gone wrong. So nothing ever happened to you when you did yours, though, right?
No, because I really wasn't doing it right because I wasn't focusing on contacting.
He wasn't trying to call anybody.
You were focusing on something else.
I was focusing on contacting somebody with a little bit more body heat than spirit. Yeah.
You weren't concerned with the dead. You were concerned with the alive.
Exactly. So yeah, the Ouija board worked out great for me.
It's just a prop. Forget dinner and a movie. We've got dark caves, thunderstorms, and Ouija board.
Ooh, it's all the art of illusion. Oh, wait a second, that's my hand.
Horrible, man. Oh, Lord, I hope I don't have daughters.
Yeah, the bad thing is I do. Yeah.
Well, when she comes home late one night talking about going to a cave with her boyfriend and a Ouija board, you'll know what's up.
Yeah, I'm a big proponent of the Second Amendment, so that happen.
A conservative college professor.
You know, the funniest thing is I have a story of one of my cousins. The first time his daughter he said the first time my daughter goes on a date, he goes, I'm going to answer the door in my boxer shorts and cleaning my shotgun.
Well, actually, I really shouldn't say anything about guns being a deterrent, because they're not. Because my first steady girlfriend when I was 16 years old, she was 15. When I went to pick her up for the first date, her dad, literally was cleaning his rifle.
Oh my God.
And it didn't stop me at all.
Fear versus raging hormones.
Yeah, 16-year-olds are kind of dumb.
Yeah, true. We all did some really dumb stuff when we were between the ages of 16 and 30.
30? I'm a little older than that, so let me raise the age past 30.
So when's this new book coming out?
Well, it depends. I've got, things have kind of exploded for me. I have a book coming out late this spring. I don't have an exact date, so it could be late May, maybe early June. It's on shadow people. It's called Darkness Walks, published by Anomalous Books.
Okay.
I have a book due to the publisher that published my first book, Haunted Missouri. That's Truman State University Press here in Missouri. That's due, like I said, in June, and I have the book, the Schiffer book that we talked about, is due in November. So within the next 2 years, I got 3 books popping out. So I'm excited.
The one coming out by the Truman Press, that's what is that? Is that what we've been talking about, or we've been talking about the Schiffer?
No, we've been talking about the Schiffer book. The one we were talking about we talked about this on a previous show. The one coming out from Truman State University Press is a book on all of the paranormal things I could find within a 100-mile radius.
Oh, that's right.
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Wow, man. Interesting. So you're still running your blog spot.
Yes.
That's crazy. How do you do it?
And you're still writing for are you still writing for the paper too as well?
Right. I write 2 columns a week. One, my paranormal column, which also appears in the Examiner. It's a suburban Kansas City newspaper, and I have a humor column that I write every week that appears in 4 different papers in Missouri and one over in Kansas.
You should do you should do an article on World of the Unexplained, Jason. I'm thinking that might get us somebody out there.
You guys have been pretty good to me. Yeah, let's talk.
A little payback there.
Yeah.
My favorite paranormal radio shows. Number 1, World of the Unexplained.
By the way, I cannot be bribed. The proof of that is because at one time I was mayor of my hometown.
Wow.
A little over 800 people, big place. A company was wanting to put a billboard in town, and there's no billboard on the highway that goes by my town. And I said, no, you can't do that. And they said, but hey, Jason, I knew the guy who owned the company. He said, I own a restaurant. I said, yeah. And he goes, I can give you free beer for the next 20 years.
Sold. Where do you want to put that billboard again?
I said no. But after I was done being mayor, the billboard went up, and I'm sure the new mayor got a lot worse deal than I was offered.
He might have only got it for 10. I don't.
No, he might have only got money.
Yeah, that's true. What's money when you can have free beer for 20 years?
Exactly.
I mean, good God, people. You turn down free beer for 20 years.
Yeah.
What kind of conservative are you?
I talk about ethics to my journalism students.
Oh my gosh! Now, what you were teaching a paranormal or putting together some kind of paranormal writing class at one point, weren't you?
Yes. I did put it together, and it got approved.
Wow!
Awesome.
A university approved a class on paranormal journalism.
Awesome.
That is. You're probably the first in the United States. Well, I mean, at a real university, you know, all these fake ones, these little online, you know, parapsychology. But you know what I'm talking about,
Right? Yeah, I know.
You're probably the first accredited university that's actually done this.
Don't criticize those universities because sometimes they're my sources.
Oh well. Oh, that's awful.
Yeah, no, I got I actually got a call from one of the producers of Paranormal State.
Okay. Yeah.
Because she caught wind. There was a internet article about my paranormal journalism class, and she wanted to talk to me about it, maybe under consideration of doing an episode. But it's been 3 months since I've heard from her, so I doubt that's going to happen.
Oh well.
Who knows?
That sucks, man.
I'd shoot them an email. That's what I'd do.
But you gotta watch out how you throw the word shoot out.
I'd write them.
Don't call me
email.
back. You know, we are talking to a proponent of the Second Amendment here.
That's correct. Sorry.
Yeah, no, but the class is. I've had students are absolutely crazy about it. They're lining up outside my door, asking to get in. The enrollment period hasn't started yet. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to cover as many different paranormal topics as I can find. And
you know what you could do, Jason? You could make them listen to an episode of World of the Unexplained and write an article about it.
Well, no, don't think paranormal radio shows aren't going to be part of it.
Okay.
We're going to listen to some shows, absolutely, because this is part of the whole deal.
Hey, you know what? Just to stroke my own ego, honestly, but I think one of the best shows, one of my favorites that we've done, honestly, would be the interview with the Highgate vampire hunter, Sean Manchester. Have you heard that one?
Yeah, but you'd have to do the two Highgate vampire shows back to back.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's true.
Yeah.
But I just think that was some of the greatest stuff we ever got. But
that was good stuff. Actually, I have it on CD somewhere, and I'll.
All right.
Yeah, I did download that. No, one of the things that I'm planning on doing is I've got newspaper coverage from around the world on UFO sightings, on Bigfoot sightings, especially the Georgia Bigfoot debacle. Anything to do with the paranormal, to show my students how the mainstream, I'm putting my fingers up in quote marks now, mainstream journalists handle paranormal topics. They
Sure.
make a joke out of it most of the time.
Yeah, they do.
No, you're right.
Right, so I want them to read that, and then I want them to listen to shows like World of the Unexplained.
Exactly.
Where you handle topics like this, unless you're talking to me, seriously.
Oh, come on now.
Yeah.
We have fun when you're on.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Now, you know, the one thing I think would be kind of interesting for you to do as well is with your students is to find out how many of them have actually had some sort of paranormal experience of some sort.
Right, and that's one of the things I'm going to ask them on the first day. Actually, why they're interested. What have you experienced that has caused you to want to enroll in this class? One of the things that I've noticed, I was nervous growing up about some things that I had experienced because who the heck was going to believe me?
Sure.
Were they going to laugh at me? And Stan Friedman calls that the ha-ha factor. A lot of people won't come out and talk about their paranormal experiences because they're afraid people are going to laugh at them.
Yeah.
But when I was when I do public appearances and when I do book signings, countless numbers of people come by and talk to me and tell me their stories because they know I'm not going to judge them. I'm not going to laugh at them.
Sure.
And I imagine every one of my students is going to be like that.
Well, now how many? What's the max on the enrollment to that class?
Should be about.
I'm sticking it at 20.
Oh,
And
20.
what are there any prerequisites? Do you have to have like a journalism 1 to get in or something like that?
In order to get it approved, I went as basic as I possibly could. Didn't have any prerequisites, and opened it up to English students also.
Okay.
So it's
So are you wanting to enroll, J. Scott?
No, I'm fine. I know how to use semicolons and apostrophes. I'm cool.
not a lot of people do.
I know it's horrible. But no, well, that's cool. So I'm assuming at this point, then you're booked out completely, and you've got your 20, and you're done. Correct?
Well, you said enrollment hasn't actually started yet.
Right.
Okay, well, never mind then.
Yeah, but it will. I've had so many people already approach me. If they're not a senior, I doubt they get in.
Okay, wow. Well, you know what that's going to mean. Next year, they're going to want you to teach 40.
That would be nice.
And then the following year, maybe even more, depending on how...
Jason says, that's fine as long as I get the money.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
I'm not necessarily concerned with money because I was a journalist for 18 years.
Oh, what's that? Yeah.
When you get if you get a substantial raise going to a teaching position, the position you came from kind of sucks.
I understand. Well, but you didn't lose those journalism ethics. That's important. A lot of journalists now, they just follow the liberal, media slant and just,
Well, and one of the things that I made sure that I talked to my students about and had evidence to back it up was about the presidential election, because the presidential election was given to Barack Obama.
Of course.
Yes.
And I'm not talking about him and McCain only. They gave the press, the mainstream press, gave it to him over Hillary Clinton from
Sure.
the coverage.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
And papers came out after the election was finally over and Obama was president-elect. Papers came out, like the Washington Post, came out and said, hey, looking back, wow, we did favor him the whole time.
Oh, duh.
Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry about that. We won't do it next election cycle.
Yeah.
Right.
So, I mean, that's something that I definitely talk about to my kids. And, it makes my head want to explode.
Well, they don't have to worry about, getting a job or anything like that. The government's going to provide for them now.
Right, yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, when I was a kid and had absolutely no desire to become a journalist, I still watched the evening news because my parents did, and they
Sure.
watched Walter Cronkite.
Yeah.
And
God, you are old.
He's not that old.
yeah, well, I said I was a kid. He retired in like 1980.
Yeah, I'm picking on you. I remember Dan Rather. I remember Walter Cronkite, though.
Yeah. Well, anyway, he that was, I think, the last true serious TV journalist. I mean, I liked Peter Jennings quite a bit, but he had his issues.
Sure.
Not because he's Canadian. But
So you have a thing against Canadians?
no, I love Canadians. I love
messing.
Canadians. One of my best friends from Ontario, and wow, we really like to drink beer.
So Canadians are drunks. That's what you're saying? Do I sound like a liberal host already?
Yeah. Did you ever see the movie Canadian Bacon?
John Candy, but no.
John Candy, Rhea Perlman, Alan Alda's the president. They went up to Toronto, not the president, but John Candy and Rhea Perlman, and they were trying to start a war between Canada and the United States. They're sitting at a hockey game, and John Candy's just bad-mouthing the Canadians like crazy, and they're not paying attention to him. Then he orders a beer and takes a drink, and he goes, "Man, this beer sucks."
Everybody stops.
The whole thing, just big riot, the entire place.
This
Huge
beer
riot.
sucks. Oh, man. But so you when is this class starting then? If you haven't got the enrollment yet?
Oh, the class starts in August, last week of August, and lasts until the first week of December.
Wow.
Cool.
So
That's very cool.
it's going to happen, and again, my main focus is to educate young generation of budding journalists to take every subject they approach with an unbiased eye.
No,
And have
go ahead.
fun on. Do what?
I said, go ahead.
No, and to have fun along the way.
Sure.
I mean, this is one of the main reasons, is because the paranormal is a fun topic. Of course, I hope to scare the crap out of a few of them.
And you might.
Yeah, which I might. We're going on field trips.
Awesome. I was going to say you should take them on some field trips. That's really cool.
You could. What was that film they did? It was one of the Halloweens, one of the last ones that they did. Not the last one, but a few times back where they, I think they finally killed off. What's her name?
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Thank you. Yeah, they finally killed her character off, and I think the premise behind it, or maybe I'm getting it confused with another film. No, I am getting it confused with another film. Never mind. They all go to this
Bambi?
house. Huh?
Bambi.
No. They all go to this house, though, and it may be a Stephen King movie, but they go with their, professor. Or this might have been the Halloween film. I can't remember. It's been so long since I've seen it. but they all go into this, haunted place or whatever with their instructor. And, it's just like the making of a bad horror movie. Because they all spend the night, and do their investigations and this, that, and the other.
You're not talking about Red Room.
It might be Red Room. I don't know. But it's like I don't know. There's so many with the same type of backstory.
Yeah.
So there you go.
I've been this confused for years.
You could.
I have no idea what you're talking.
It's okay, man. It's all right.
That's fine. Okay.
It's all right. Jay doesn't either.
It's back there in my mind somewhere. But yeah, we can we'll find that out, and yeah, that just sounds like the perfect horror movie plot.
Oh, it does. It's a great setup. The one place I'm planning on going to take the students is to the Axe Murder House in Villisca, Iowa.
Ooh.
In 1912, I believe, a family came home from a church dinner one night. It was dark. They had 3 young kids, and 2 of the friends of the kids were going to stay the night. And sometime between when they got home, they crawled into bed, and the next morning, somebody who was waiting in the attic came out with an axe that he had gotten from their coal shed out back and butchered the entire family.
Oh, nice.
And they never found who it was. There were, possible suspects. There was a traveling preacher.
It was him.
Who had just left town. There was somebody who'd committed other crimes before, but nothing this violent. But they never could pin anything on anybody. And since then, nobody's lived in the house more than 6 months.
Oh, what happens in the house?
Well, a lot of things. Just your basic haunting stuff. Cold spots, things moving around, like, flying through the air that really shouldn't because of the whole gravity thing.
Yeah, that tends to be annoying sometimes.
Yeah, the piano playing, voices, things of this nature. A few years ago, a guy named Darwin Lynn bought the house, he and his wife did, to preserve it because the town's like 1,700 people, and they have a convenience store. Okay, so yeah, let's preserve this because it puts the house on the map. And the guy does tours for people to come in, and I interviewed people who have seen kids, in the tour playing with people who aren't there. Like I said, basic horror stuff, but it's been repeated over and over the decades that something could be going on, and he lets paranormal groups come in, and the cops on campus, our campus safety, just last year got a thermal imaging camera.
Oh, cool!
Got a grant, so we're hoping to take that with us.
Hey, good luck. How far? Now, how far? You said this was in Ohio. How far is this away from your college?
No, Iowa.
Oh, Iowa. I thought you said Ohio.
Yeah, no. I might have.
Okay.
Hell,
we're rolling it back right now,
yeah,
Jason.
I meant to say Iowa.
I was like, man, that's a field trip.
Yeah.
So now, I guess you could, heck, if you wanted to, I guess every haunted place around, within 100 miles of your house.
I know quite a few. You never know all of them because of the private homes. You don't know. Some of the best stories I've gotten have been from private homes.
Really?
Yeah. And in my first book, Haunted Missouri, I didn't want to do private homes because I wanted people to come and visit.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
See for themselves.
That makes sense. Now, where did you, how do you get these stories?
Well, a lot of them, people have come up and said, "Hey, Jason, have you ever heard of this?" But really? Okay. And then I go investigate it. Some of them are more famous cases. There's a case in my book about all the paranormal things I could find within a 100-mile radius of my house. I've found because they're famous cases. One case is out of Nebraska, a little town named Ashland. In December 1967, a police officer named Herb Shermer, he was just hired a few months before he saw this, but he was on patrol at about 2:30 in the morning and saw a red light that he thought was a truck overturned on the highway. And when he went to investigate it, it was an object that was about 6 feet over the highway. And when he got there, he said he got scanned with a beam, and the thing shot up in the sky, and then he drove back to the police station. Well, when he did, he noticed that the last time he looked at his watch and the time that he thought this incident happened and the 10-minute driving time back to the station, he knew they didn't match up. So not too long afterward, because he made a mistake, considering how his life turned out, he made a mistake of filing a report, and it made all the area newspapers.
Oh, yeah.
And the Condon report, or the Condon committee out of University of Colorado in Boulder, got wind of this and got him out to Boulder, and Dr. Leo Sprinkle, I'm sure you guys are familiar with him.
I'm sorry? Dr. who?
Leo Sprinkle.
I'm not, no.
Oh, okay. He's still alive. He was a psychologist. He was a psychology professor at the University of Wyoming. Anyway, he was a member of this Condon committee, and he put this deputy under hypnosis. And while he was under hypnosis, this deputy went through this entire scenario where these two beings who looked human came out of the flying vehicle, took him up into it, showed him devices. He saw hieroglyphics that looked Egyptian on the wall and on control panels. They showed him how the ship worked, and then they put him back in his car.
Well, you didn't even get to test drive the thing?
No, yeah, maybe he would have gotten more than a free diamond necklace with his test drive.
I'm sure.
And then he was later interviewed by Brad Steiger.
Okay.
Okay, I've interviewed both Steiger and Sprinkle about this, and they both said the guy was telling the truth as far as they were concerned.
Huh.
But, of course, making this whole thing public just really screwed the guy's life up. He couldn't hold down a job for any length of time after that. He had relationship problems, and he doesn't talk about the event anymore. He's in his late 60s, I think.
Huh.
But anyway, that was a really famous case because of the fact that a lot of things seemed to be that he was telling the truth.
Well,
he seemed to be. I mean, that's what I got from the UFO investigators I talked to, and the reports from the Condon committee basically said, yeah, this guy was telling the truth. Huh. We don't believe him, but he was telling the truth.
We don't believe him. Take this lie detector test. Yes, it shows you're telling the truth, but we don't believe you. Well, Jason, we're gonna take our first and only break of the night, if that's cool with you. So
yeah.
If you'll hang tight. You're listening to World of the Unexplained, and we'll be right back in a few moments after this.
Hey guys, welcome back to World of the Unexplained. Tonight we have Jason Offutt on with us. To start off, we'd like to give our condolence to Tom Van Flanderen's family. We got an email last week that he passed away due to stomach cancer, and we just want to give our condolence to his family.
Great guest. Way over my head, though, as far as the...
Oh, yeah, that stuff was just... It was amazing, but yeah, that was just really way too complicated.
You know the professors you have, Jason, that talk so far over your head that you can't even, think on the same level?
I never admit to that.
Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
And this guy was one of those, and he talked about a lot of just the dimensional shifts in physics and just all kinds of
Mars and
space and time, and it was just crazy. But anyway,
yeah. So, there are some people. Dr. Michio Kaku takes things like that, string theory and things of that nature, and actually makes it to where you can understand. And
really,
yeah, and then there are people who are just so smart that you just can't understand what they're talking about.
Well, to segue from that into time, don't you have some update for us here?
Yes, there's a project I've been working on myself and a couple of professors in the physics department at my university. By the way, I don't know if it was announced. I teach journalism at a university in Missouri, Northwest Missouri State University. Anyway,
big party school. Go ahead. I don't know. Is it?
It's okay. It's not bad. The school I went to was also in Missouri, Central Missouri State University. Was a big party school, and I remember my last semester.
You remember that?
I think that's about it, my last semester.
Okay.
But anyway, we have been talking about time machines, and after this happened, I was able to locate a DeLorean, which really ticks me off, but that's beside the point. We found a guy who makes and sells time machines.
Now, for those listeners that aren't familiar with you or the time machine thing that maybe missed the last few episodes, tell them where they can see this time machine in action in an actual film.
Okay. If anybody's seen Napoleon Dynamite, it's the time machine that Uncle Rico bought off the internet to go back to 1981 and start in the state championship football game.
Relive the dream.
You know, we would have won state.
Reliving the dream, baby.
Yeah. I can throw this football over those mountains.
Go out for a pass.
This guy, his name's Steven Gibbs, and I don't mean to make light of him because he made a lot of money off of this.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, he was, according to his biographer, who I've interviewed, he was contacted by himself back in the 1980s, and his self from the future, who contacted him, gave him a diagram for a time machine, which he started building on his farm in Seward, Nebraska, and he started selling, and he's made his big news on Coast to Coast with Art Bell, and
of course,
yeah, and was overwhelmed with the amount of time machine requests that he's received. Time machine he has to offer is called the Hyperdimensional Resonator, which I've done a little bit of investigating, and apart from the Wayback Machine, from the Rocky and Bullwinkle show, most of the time machines end in OR. You've got the flux capacitor. Okay, that ends in OR.
This is the hyperdimensional resonator.
Anyway, he's sold quite a few of these things, and there are a number of people. I've interviewed one of them actually who has used this and has claimed success. The machine is supposed to take you physically through time, but that's not the best thing it can, or that's the best thing it can do, but not the most probable thing it will do. The thing it's mostly used for is astral projection through time. Is what his claim is. So you can go through time, more like quantum leap than anything else. My words, not his. I heard it chuckle. Anyway, but the biggest catch with the whole thing is you have to you got to pray.
Yeah, you told me that. You got to be
on God's good side to get this thing to work.
That makes sense.
Yeah. If I'm going to put an electrified, a hot-wired colander on my head, an electromagnetic
you will be praying
between my legs, I'm going to be praying.
No,
anyway, we got a grant, a government grant, which everybody thank the U.S. government. Okay, we got a government grant to buy one of these time machines, and it just came in today.
That's awesome. Now he wouldn't give it to you directly, right?
No, he wouldn't give it to me directly because I write about the paranormal. I've written about time travel before, and I don't think he trusted me.
You've got to be a good faith, Jason.
Yeah, I guess so.
That's awesome.
So being a deacon in my church really doesn't matter now, does it?
No, apparently not.
Oh, yeah.
No. Let me ask you: did you interview the lady that wrote the book on him, Patricia Ross?
Yes.
Ress, I guess. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Reese.
Yeah, Patricia Ress.
Yeah. What did she have to say about him?
She's convinced this guy's telling the truth. She has seen it used before. He demonstrated it to her, and although he didn't travel in time when he used it, the electricity in her house did some weird things. There was lightning that danced across her ceiling.
Really?
When he turned it on. A couple of the other things that he says that it does is it intensifies dreams that you have. And I've interviewed a couple of people who have told me when they started using this, their dreams just went haywire.
Really?
Maybe it has to do with, all the electricity
and stuff. Yeah.
I don't know, but they've said that actually works.
Maybe it's frying their brain.
Slowly turning it to mush.
One of the things that I really, really have a hard time with, one of the many things I have a hard time with, is the fact that you have to use it effectively on a ley line. Okay. Do you guys know what a ley line is?
No, go ahead. Okay,
there is some hypothetical power grid across the planet.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, I know what you're talking about now, but go ahead.
Okay, yeah, and a lot of ceremonial spots, a lot of churches, a lot of religious monuments have been placed on these. The problem is nobody has ever been able to prove scientifically that these things freaking exist.
Well, yeah.
But anyway,
what's that to stop anyone?
On top of it. But yeah, how do you find one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. A guy I've become a pretty good acquaintance with. He's a really intelligent guy. He bought one. He's trying to use it, and he's had some success with it. Not so much time traveling, but the dream intensity and the fact that he is convinced he has astrally projected himself a couple of times.
Huh.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, it sounds kind of far-fetched on one hand, but like I said, somebody I interviewed is fairly convinced that there's something to it. But I've got a couple of physicists who are going to tear it apart and see what's going on.
Well, I think that's cool. I think you should try to use it first.
Yeah, that's the funniest thing.
Yeah.
Now I'm on Amazon.com looking at 4 or 5. What is it? 4 customer reviews of your book, Haunted Missouri. Yeah. And well, I was.
Oh yeah, I didn't hear a word you said. What'd you say?
I said I'm on Amazon.com right now.
Yes, I heard that part.
And I'm looking at 4 customer reviews of your book, Haunted Missouri.
Yes.
Have you seen these?
That's all I have?
Yeah, that's it. 4.
Well, you need to get on there and put a 5th.
Well, but I'm kind of biased though.
Yeah. Yeah. If I'm selling books, I don't care.
Well, this is good though. You got 4 out of 5 stars, man.
Yeah, actually, I have read them, and one person kind of bashed me. The other 4, or the other 3, wrote something really nice. So
yeah, the other 3 look good. I see the basher you're talking about. I've read some of the book. I like that. I didn't read the whole thing. I just read some of it, and came away with the opinion that the author devoted more time to areas of northern Missouri than to the state as a whole.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's some reason to give me 2 stars.
Yeah, exactly. Then you got a 5-star. You got 2 5-star reviews here.
Okay, yeah, I read a book once, and this dude walking across water. What the hell? Come on, I didn't want to read the rest of the thing. That's too far-fetched for me.
Yeah, who could believe any of that?
Now, I saw another book here that says that was yours and they don't have it anymore.
Okay.
I'm going to find it. Hang on. Ghost hunting, Missouri.
Oh, there's a fun story with that.
Oh, what's it says currently unavailable. What's up? Paperback
because
August.
it's Haunted Missouri.
Oh.
Okay. What happened was
it's a different cover, man.
a company named Emmis Books hired me to write a book of ghost stories on Missouri, and they were calling it Ghost Hunting Missouri, and it was in a series they were working on. I can't pronounce the guy's last name because I've never heard it. John, it starts with a K. Anyway, he wrote Ghost Hunting Illinois and Ghost Hunting Ohio. Mine was going to be the next, Ghost Hunting Missouri. They gave me a contract. I signed it. I was half finished with the book. They gave me a $2,000 advance.
Oh, why?
They were going to pay me $2,000 more of an advance after I gave them the whole manuscript. And before that happened, they canceled their publishing division.
Well, what about this?
The part of it that was doing my book.
Well, what about this small town book? This said hardcover.
It's well. Do you want me to go on a big tirade about publishing companies?
No. I'm just asking.
I was happy with because the advance they gave me, they let me keep even though they folded.
That's sweet. That's
Wow.
awesome.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Man, I need to follow.
I use that book and it became Haunted Missouri. The Small Town book was my second book for a publisher out of New York State. They published my very first book called On Being Dad, which is a collection of humor essays about me being a parent. It's funny. I don't know if it's still in print.
It says one used and new. Yeah, from $10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's autographed, too.
This one says collectible, very good.
Yeah.
Signed by the author. There's the comments with inscription on FFEP, minor wear and imperfection. Nice. I don't know what FFEP means. Something about the spine, maybe. I don't know.
Anyway, the Small Town was my next book from that same publisher. And
Wait a minute. This ships from Missouri. You have this at your house, don't you?
It's in my pocket right now.
Shut up, Jay.
I'm listening, man. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm just saying that they accepted the book, gave me a contract, and that was 2 years ago, and they never published it.
Oh
man. Oh, well. Anyway.
Well, you should see if you can try to get that one.
Books of the future.
Books of the future.
Books of the future.
And by the way,
you know what I'm doing with my time machine? The first thing I'm doing?
Yeah.
I'm traveling to the year 3,527 and looking up some of those hot Eloy chicks from the Time Machine movie.
Oh, God.
I'm only saying that because I think my wife's asleep right now.
Wait, we'll find out in about 5 minutes.
Exactly. Jason, hello? Bam, bam, you hear something getting hit. No, you guys that want to go check his site out, you can do that at jasonoffutt.com. And you can click on underneath his picture a little thing that says read more, and it'll take you there. If you click on the other one under his book, it'll take you to Amazon where you can purchase it. Now, you can purchase it directly from his website as well. I don't know, is there a better option of buying it from your site or Amazon?
It doesn't matter. Amazon, my site actually links to Amazon. So.
Oh, this takes me to Truman Press, actually.
It does? Well, it links to some place that sells my book, so that's cool.
Okay, well, I mean, will they get a better deal by going to one or the other?
Probably Amazon. You could probably get a better deal going there, or BarnesandNoble.com. They sometimes have better deals too.
Okay. Well, that's cool. So, when are you going to be putting this this time travel machine to the test?
Probably as soon as we get it. We'll probably meet at a bar somewhere. My colleagues and fire the thing up
at a bar.
In the bar. That's even better.
Okay, this is something I thought of the other day because I'm like, okay, the machine's going to come in a week or two. I've got to think about this seriously. So I was thinking about how a time machine that's stationary would work, because most time machines, theoretically, that will work, that we don't have the technology to make work, involves some high speeds or high gravity. This machine is one that just kind of sits there. Okay? So what is it going to do? It's going to take you to a different place in time, not a different place in space.
Yeah.
So
okay. We talked about this. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So, you're sitting in the same place in space, and you turn the machine on for a couple of minutes. Me sitting at my house in Missouri, the Earth's moving, the solar system's moving, the galaxy's moving through the universe. In just a minute or two, in this same space I'm sitting in right now, I will be somewhere submerged in Salt Lake. Okay? So if I set it for 10 years from now, I'm going to be out in the middle of space somewhere.
Yeah.
So, do I really want to use this thing? I don't know.
Well, apparently, I mean, that's why you have to have good intentions and pray.
Yeah, I guess so. You don't need physics at all. You just need good intentions and prayer.
And where else to do that but in a bar?
Well, I want to talk about Scooby and the gang offer lessons for life here. I just pulled this up. This is really good. The few things that you learn while watching Scooby Doo. First of all, everyone has something to offer. If you're not the muscle, the brains, or the money of the group, you're still important. You're the bait. The villain is always the last person you'd suspect. Every haunted house has the ingredients to make a really big sandwich. Nearsighted people are funny. A hippie.
Am I wrong there?
No. I'm nearsighted, actually.
Actually, so am I.
A hippie, a jock, a debutante, a nerd, and a gigantic talking dog can live and work together in harmony. Don't anger the tiki god.
That's the most important one, by the way.
If you wind a dog's tail really tight, it can be used as a propeller. Oh, this is a good one right here. Scooby snacks probably contain amphetamines. Here's a life lesson. Renting a boat near a haunted island is never a good idea. Elaborate plans always fail. Random acts of panic don't. Werewolves wear pants. And as we know from the 1980s film Monster Squad, Wolfman also has nards. Kids are pesky.
I did not see that movie. My werewolf movie in the 80s was The Howling.
Oh, yeah, the whole series of them. I think I've got most of them actually on DVD, believe it or not.
The first one's the best, of course, because it had Slim Pickens.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
Kids are pesky, and there's no such thing as monsters. So that's what you've learned from this Scooby Doo gang.
Scooby Doo.
That's a good little
And
article.
it's always old man with Southers.
Crothers. Good stuff, though. Good stuff. You can buy all those now on DVD, all the old Scooby Doo episodes.
I would really like to. That was when I was a kid. I would watch those on Saturday morning, and I would sit there and take notes and try and figure out who the villain was. And it wasn't until after I was older than 6 where I realized it's the first guy they meet. Every time.
Oh man, that makes me feel bad. I still can't figure it out. But yeah, I mean, good stuff, man. I'll give you the final word, Jason, and we'll be talking to you again soon when we get our big show going here in Arizona. But I'll give you the final word, man.
All right. Well, I guess I'm going to have to pitch something. The main thing I'm going to pitch is my blog. It's from-the-shadows.blogspot.com. I update it every week, and the reason I'm giving you that is I cover everything paranormal I can possibly find, from shadow people to black-eyed kids to time travel to ghosts. I had kind of a spooky one last week about a girl who kept getting attacked in her house. Nothing sexual, so don't go there. But physically assaulted in her house. So, I mean, there are a lot of crackpot theories out there, but there's a lot of stuff that really, really happens, and I just try to tell people stories.
Okay. Well, good deal, man. Thank you so much. We know it was last minute, and we appreciate. We always have a good time with you when you're on the show, and we'll actually have this podcast up next couple weeks.
All right. I'll look for it.
We're dumping all the ones we've got from last year. We're going to be adding them slowly just to try to keep up with the new ones as they come in. So we've got all brand new computer systems and all brand new equipment and stuff. And so now we're just trying to get programs moved, and
we're just trying to learn the programs.
No, it's awful. So we're getting up to speed with everything. Did you see the new website?
Yeah, I did.
Well, it's only the new very front page, but still.
Yeah. I noticed that because I kept clicking buttons.
Yeah.
I was like, well, that's the same stuff.
Exactly, and that's going to be changed. Everything's going to be updated. It's going to just a sleeker, newer, better look, and we're happy about that. We're putting the time in, and we'll get out what we need from it. So, but thanks so much for coming on at such a short notice, Jason. And sorry we started an hour late. We could have had a lot more fun, but.
Again, I always have fun when I'm on World of the Unexplained, and I was actually helping with a student production the other day, and I found out that I can do a really cool voice. Let me do a drop for you guys.
Okay, go for it.
Are you ready?
We're ready.
You're listening to World of the Unexplained.
That's just creepy.
Yeah,
but thanks.
Cry.
That's cry. All right, man. Well, thanks so much for being on the show, Jason.
Hey, thanks a lot, man.
Talk to you later.
Okay.
All right, and that was Jason Offutt, the author of Haunted Missouri and other wonderful titles coming out. Great book. Pick it up. We don't just say that because we're his friend. Good book, good writer. Great ideas. Check out his blog spot. Check out his site, jasonoffutt.com. That's spelled OFFUTT.com. So I guess we're going to see you guys next week, huh? And maybe we'll get Trent back in there again. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you on that. But new station's going to be carrying us soon. I'll have more details on that next week. And, where you can listen live on a different night. We'll be broadcasting live Monday nights, and then on another night, probably Sunday is what it's going to be looking like, just for an hour. But you'll be able to catch that right here if you don't live in the area, or you might be able to catch it on your dial if you live in the Arizona area. But yeah, that's basically what we're looking at. And,
I know it's gonna be really awesome, actually.
Yeah, I'm really pumped about it. So hey, I don't know what I was going to say now. That was basically it, I guess.
You've been listening to World the Unexplained.
That's right. Now, I don't know who the guest is for next week. I've got somebody lined up, and I can't remember who it is. But anyway, we've got many new guests to come. What?
Is it?
Oh, no, it's not Brian Alaspa. He had to cancel on us. That's what I meant to tell everybody earlier. He's going to be coming back to the show, though, very soon. I'm trying to think. I believe that our guest next week is actually Peter... now I can't think of his name, of course. That would be... He wrote a book on... he wrote a book... I think this is next week. Let me double check real quick while I'm here looking. I'm listening to the music. I'm digging it. Yeah, Peter Lavenda, I believe, is going to be on next week. It looks like... March 2nd. Yeah, that'll be next week, won't it?
Yeah, that'll be next week.
Monday, March 2nd. Peter Lavenda... the Nazi occult relationship there. We'll be talking about that.
I think I'm going to find that really interesting.
I think so, too. So that's something I don't think the show's ever touched on, but definitely a lot of good stuff in there. So, well, guys, we'll see you next week. This is Jay Scott, and this is the silent partner beside me. This is Jay Scott.
This is James Clements.
And we'll see you guys next week.
Peace.